Hey everyone, it's Cathy Zielske. Welcome back to my channel and the craft / dining room. Tim Holtz is in the house. Tim Holtz is, well, he's not in the house, but his stamp set is the Tim Holtz STAMPtember exclusive collaboration with Simon Says Stamp. I think you're gonna love it. I think I love the card that I made, and I'm not gonna say any more because it's probably gonna sell out by the time I finish this intro. So without further ado, that card project is coming up next. So here is the 2021 Tim Holtz Stampers Anonymous STAMPtember exclusive. And it is holiday themed, and I am very excited to just dive into this new stamps and show you what we have. But check it out. What? There is a stencil that is part of this set. So let's get this out. Let's take a look. We've got Santa, the clouds, the little trail of stars. Look at the gorgeous trees. Oh, and just classic holiday greetings. And then there's a moon stencil. So you have your circle and your moon detail. I'm super excited that I get to play with this. And I am going to just sit here and stare at it off camera, just what I do for about 5 minutes. Because when I get a new stamp set, I like to, start simple. Start as simple as I possibly can. And that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to grab some products and we're going to dive in. I will have all the links below, of course. And remember, when this stamp set sells out, as is the case with STAMPtember, it is out for good. So let's make some cards. I'm going to be doing my work today on Tim Holtz's Distress White Heavystock, the Ranger White Heavystock, because I don't know how much stuff I'm going to add and layer. And I also have a set of the new Simon Says Stamp blender brushes. These I am only using for oxides or pigment inks. I splurged on a second set just because I've never had a set of brushes that are exclusively dedicated to just oxide. So I've got some colors here for my first card idea. And honestly, I don't know how this is going to turn out. I really don't, but we're going to give it a go. So let's see. What I'm going to start out by doing is creating a little mask area for my moon. Now, I want to make sure that I leave room for Santa. So let's pick up Santa. See, these just come right off. You just tear the rubber apart because it's already cut for you. And I want to make sure that there is room for Santa. Yep, there's going to be room because this is idea number one. Now, I'm going to take, do I have repositionable adhesive? Hold on here. I'm going to take some Easy Dots here, some repositionable adhesive, and just take this off first. That sometimes helps. Just, I just want to hold this in place. Want to hold my moon in place. Maybe have my moon be there. That way, when I start to ink blend, right, the moon is going to stay where it needs to stay and we're all going to be happy. And I think I'm going to start out with chipped sapphire. We're just going to start working on the sky. All right. And again, this is just an idea and I don't always know. I don't always know if my ideas are going to work, but we're going to give it a try. So I'm going to blend around here, leaving space for my moon. I don't think that's going to move, but it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt to hold it down. Now, why am I using oxides for this? Well, I just thought, I don't know, they're creamy. They blend beautifully. If you're a newbie and you don't really feel as comfortable with ink blending, the oxides can give you some confidence. They really are creamier. They have sort of this hybrid quality, unlike a regular distress ink. And, you might give them a whirl if you struggle with blending. Okay. And, I have gotten much better at blending. Can't lie. Definitely gotten better. Next color, Dusty Concord. But it takes some time. It's taken me time. In fact, I recently shared a link to My very first video that I ever did. And that was back in 2017 when I first started making cards. And, you know, I've learned a few things since then. I have gotten better. It just takes time. And of course, it's just paper. It's just paper. We love paper. And paper is something you can, you know, try again with. All right, I'm actually just going to wipe this a little because I want to be able to hold this, but I don't feel like getting my fingers super inky. Just coming in for this sort of nighttime winter sky. And I don't want to actually put my hands on the oxides that I'm blending. One of the things that does happen with oxides is because they are creamy and they take a little time to dry, your fingerprints will show up. So if you press down on your paper, you will see those and, you know, you might not want them. I mean, you might, you know, it's hard to say what you want. And it's kind of a one-way conversation with the exception of comments. A little more chipped sapphire like this. Okay. Just blend that over a little bit more. The nice thing too about oxides is they allow you to layer on top of other colors because they have a much lower opacity, right? You don't see through them the same way that you might with another ink. So they're very buildable, very buildable. I want to wipe off a little more from that mask. And actually, maybe my moon glow shouldn't be. Maybe this is going to be enough as is, right? And actually, let me go grab another ink that I'm planning to use for my moon. So I'm going to work in pumice stone for my moon because that always makes me feel, well, you know, like it's moon colored. But I'm going to try something here with Victorian velvet. Now, I don't know which brush to use. Maybe. So I'm just going to load up. I'm going to show you here just the tip of the brush, just the tip. Because I don't want to do much here. And again, using gray, I think will be just fine. Again, I'm going to hold my paper towel here. Try to show you what I'm doing. Just come in here and go off the edge a little. Just a little. Just a tiny bit for some moon glow. See that? Because, you know, the moon glows. The moon glows on a clear night. And this might be just the right tone. But can you kind of see how it layers on top here? Isn't that kind of neat? All right, we're just going to softly go over that. I'm literally just the lightest touch. All right, like that. Let's take just a little bit more of this and just, again, light. Maybe go into it like that. Just kind of sweep it up like that. But here's a question too. I'm wondering before I take the mask off if I should flick on some water. And you know what? I think the answer to that is yes. So let me grab my fan brush. This little brush from, it's by Zen Royal and Langnickel No. 4 fan brush has been fantastic for the flick. So what I like to do sometimes is just spray this off camera, just get it wet. Like if I feel like I don't have time to go dip in the water and then get a few off to the side and then start adding. Because I thought this would just look like snow, you know, little bits of snow in the sky. Because, you know, it's Christmas. And Santa, he's not going to fly if it's not snowing. That's not true, kids. You know that's not true. All right. Okay, he's going to go, oh, look at that. Isn't that cool? Oh, I love it. Okay, now comes the time. Well, I guess I could do the peel and reveal and show you the moon. I'm not going to add the, well, maybe I will add the detail. Okay, let's take off without touching much because, again, I'm probably going to use this whole panel. Let's take that off. Oh, look at the big glowy moon. And now I can take my adhesive eraser, right? I love the truly repositionable paper or adhesive because you can just take it right off and your paper is fine underneath. All right, I think what I'm going to do, well, because if I'm going to be letting this dry, I might as well, you know, let it dry. I'm going to go back here with a little repositionable adhesive. I'm going to position my moon as such, right? Like that. Okay. That should hold it in place. Now, I am actually going to bring in one of my smaller brushes. I use these with my dye inks, but the reality is I don't use gray very much. You know, gray's just not a color that I use a lot. Now, I could do a yellow on the moon, right? But I kind of feel like I want to do the pumice stone as my moon color because, you know, the moon's gray. But I don't want it to be very dark. See, so I'm not sure. Let's just do... Oh, and the reason I want it to be smaller is so I can actually manipulate and not go off into this part. So let's just do it really lightly, very lightly. Just the suggestion, you know, this is not meant to, I'm not pressing hard. I just want this to be light like that. That's the detail. Do you ever look up at the moon and just think, that's just amazing? Do you ever think about space? I think about space sometimes. I think about the moon. My hubby and I always joke from the Austin Powers movie when they're going to blow up the moon and Tim Robbins' character, I think he was like supposed to be the president. It's like, would you miss it? Would you miss it? We say that a lot on nights where you can really see the moon because I would miss it. I think our tides would have issues too. Well, let's see what happens now when we get moon detail. Okay, we have moon detail. Now, I do need to wipe off that little extra bit of adhesive. Now, this is a little wild, right? Because I'm mixing my inks, but I thought to myself, Cathy, your moon can't quite be that white, but what if I took regular distress? Now, oh, that looks very dark though. The reason why I want to do this is because I think I can get, well, you know what? I think I need a bigger brush. And now we'll just take some of that. I'm running out of tap off space. Tap, 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 tap. And I'm just going to do just a little and see what happens. And because this is going to be so light, I think it's just going to take the white off. Does that make sense? Just kind of dull it down a bit so it looks more like a moon. Oh, I should have taken... Oops! Don't forget to get your adhesive off there. And it doesn't quite matter if it goes over into the moon glow. So I can go over it very lightly. But I am being very careful not to press my fingers down. I don't think I would get it quite this light were I not using the regular. So you can, you know, you can mix and match your stuff. Now some people might not do that color for the moon. Some people might do yellow. I think this is just fine. It gives me what I was looking for. Now, I'm going to let this dry completely. I'm going to walk away. Actually, I might get my Tim Holtz. Let me grab my guy here. I got to show you something too because I did some heating the other day without something underneath it, and it kind of, my mat's fine now, but it did kind of warp the mat. So a lot of times when I'm doing something like this, I will bring out this Epicurean board, and that tends to work for me. I'll grab my Heat It tool with this board safely underneath, and I'm just going to lightly do this. And of course I have my little silicone mat underneath too. I'm not trying to overly heat this. I just want to facilitate the drying, but I am still going to let this completely dry and make sure that embossing powder falls off of it for my idea. So I'll let that go for a bit. All right, and when I come back, this will be dry and we will be ready to add Santa. All right, this is dry, and I want my friends here, my little reindeer friends, to be flying over the moon. And then I thought, you know, I may put in Believe in the Magic of Christmas, and I may sprinkle in a little bit of, you know, that guy too. I'm not sure yet, but that's where we're going. So let's get Santa lined up. Oh, I need to take my pad out. I forgot. Oh my gosh. Cling stamp. Hold on here. That would have been a shocker. I bet there were a few of you who were like, Cathy, it's red rubber. What are you doing? Okay, let's try this again. There we go. Cling stamp. Whew. Okay. Let's give that a go. All right. I love the red rubber cling because it doesn't stick, right? It's not like the photopolymer. And I am going to powder this up though, because let's get you over there. I just want to make sure that when I sprinkle on my clear powder, that it only sticks to the VersaFine Clair, which will stay a little wet for a little while, right, before it completely dries. So let's get this. It's a wonderful ink. If you're looking for a super inky black ink, I cannot recommend this one more highly. It's very similar to VersaFine Onyx Black. In fact, I don't even really know the difference. If I'm being honest, I don't. But I love it. And I'm going to stamp this a couple times to really get a nice inky coverage. So let's bring that here. Grab my stamp press tool, my Debbie tool, and transfer that ink. This is always the moment where you hope it looks good. I hope it's looking good. I think it will, though. I think it will. Oh, yeah. Magical. Magical. Look at the detail. That's the thing that I do love about this red rubber. Right? These gorgeous stamps made right here in the United States. The detail, phenomenal. Tim always talks about it, right? He's always just talking about how wonderful it is, and there is no doubt. Oh, look at that. It's so fun. I'm giving it one more go because I want a lot of ink on this to grab the powder, and you'll see why in just a second. All right. Good enough. We're going to put this down, give it a final push. Oh, love it. And before I add my powder, I'm going to let that sit for a second, get everything ready so I have it when it's good to go. Sprinkle, and all this is going to do, it's just really going to make this image sort of pop, right? We're just shining it up. So now, it looks like, what would you just do, Kath? It looks like it disappeared, but it didn't, because when we heat it, so all that does is it gives that image a gorgeous shine, right? Isn't that cool? So let's move on to the trail of shiny, shiny stars. See, I know ideally it would come out there, but what if I just had it, kind of just wedged in like that, and I kind of curve it up a bit? I think that could be cute, right? Am I trying to do too much here by having that come like that? Because I think my greeting is going to go over here, and I may end up doing my greeting, I think, on a different piece of cardstock and maybe pop it up and make it a banner. I'm just talking out loud here. But I kind of like that idea because it'll be, let's see if I can make it a little, or should it, no, I want to come as close as I can get it, right? And of course, you can kind of curl it too. Like if I put that right there, I can pick this up and, okay, let's see if my science brain will work. I just want to bring it up a little bit to right there. I can curve it a little, right? Like that. Let's see how that looks. Oh, yes. Yes, Cathy. Yes, right? That way you're going to see a little more of the star trail. Just going to powder it up. Let's ink up our star trail like that. And I'm only going to stamp this once. I don't care if it's perfect, right? Because I think I just want the star trail to look, like a star trail. And I don't want to go multiple times. So let's go like this. Let that sticky embossing ink transfer. Oh, you can see it. Isn't that cool? I love it. And I think the stars are in just the right place. I mean, this would be a great stamp set for a large, for something larger. I mean, this is not, I'm making a US A2, right? And I'm gonna dust off a little bit where that's stuck and then just dust over that guy there. It looks like powder kind of stuck to that embossing. Oh, look at that. Isn't it cool? It's so cool. I don't know what happened there, but it's okay. I think I must have pressed down a little too hard, but we're going for it. We are going for it. In fact, you know what? I took my little blade here and just scraped a little of that powder because I think it was just a little powder had just stuck there. And honestly, just scraping that away, it's less obtrusive. So now we move on. Dug through my cardstock, and I think this Gina K Plum Punch is going to be really nice for the greeting. Do I want to have a banner that goes all the way across? Oh, because you know what? Then I could really, here's the thing. It's like making mistakes, right? I don't love that, but what if my banner came across like that? I don't know if I want to do that, but if I stamp this over here, it actually gives me that option to do that if I want to. So I'm, when I make a little glitch, I'm always kind of looking for ways that I can fix that glitch. So let's stamp down Believe in the Magic of Christmas. And I could stamp it a couple times too if I wanted to. I might just have some options because I'm going to do this one also in silver. So let's grab our clear embossing ink. I think we're in the right place now. So let's stamp it down. The nice thing about red rubber cling stamps is they don't have to really be primed. At least that's never been my experience. Like they stamp, I mean, look at that. That's like fantastic first time out of the gate, right? So let's do another one just to be safe. Always make a backup if you can. It's not going to hurt anything, right? Not going to hurt a thing. All right, stamping that down. I don't know which one I'll use. Like that. Silver's so elegant. I think sometimes I overlook it. Look that. I think that one does look better than you see that? All right. I think that one's best. So I'm going to grab, actually though, which one has all the, you know what? It's truly 6 of 1. I think we'll do that one. Got my sentiment label. I'm cutting it more to that side in case I decide to do what I think I'm going to do, but I'm just not sure. So let's cut this out first. So if I did do something like that, right, that would come, you know what though? I feel like I want it to be over here. Oops, that just popped up. I feel like I want it to be over here, and I may just trim this down so it's not a big deal, because I like the idea that I'm filling this space in. So I did a second one because I realized that is black really a Christmassy color? I feel like there's an aspect of this that would be prettier just for the simplicity, right? Because if your purple's not perfect, you'll have to let me know in the comments, but I think I'm going to execute that, right? And I think I'll just, add a little notch over here using the notches from the sentiment label set, right? I'll go ahead, notch it from that side, and that will be the greeting for my card base. This is what I'm doing next. I'm going to be using the Gina K Master Layouts 1. I love this set because it has 2 nesting things of 3 different shapes. And I have taken, I think, what is the larger one? Let's double check that. Yes, I have cut a panel using the larger one because I am going to trim down my little scene panel here. But what I want to do, and let me flip this over, is I want to take some ink and create a nice silver border using the same powder. We'll take our clear ink, and all I'm going to do is just smush it down on the edge, right? Doesn't have to be well done. It just has to have coverage to the edge. Just sort of work our way around and add the powder to the edges like that. See that? All right, just kind of coat it in. All right, now I have a beautiful shiny matte layer that I'm going to put behind the main panel, which I will cut out next. So see, I am going to trim this down, and now I can come over far enough so that I can cut that little glitch right off, and I can still incorporate the beautiful swoopty down with the little moon. I think the coming in and cropping makes it even more intimate, if you can use that as a word. So I'll go ahead and cut this out. All right, so see, I was able to crop off the little bit that I didn't like, and that is a win-win. So now I'm going to take my dot runner here. This is just the Simon dot runner. I'm just going to put this on the back, make sure I get all of the edges nicely coated, right? Because we want to make sure that we are adhering this down perfectly. Put that across the center. And now I've got my little shiny, my silver matte, and I'll just look at the top sides like that. And once I know that's lined up at the top, I'm pretty sure it will be lined up at the bottom like that. And it's just so subtle, right? It's a very thin border. When it catches the light, let's see here, you get shine on the border. So that's pretty cool. I think a white card base will be nice for this because that will, brighten it a bit from all of the dark elements that are happening, like the black greeting and the dark jewel tones of the sky. So let's give that a good press, right? Yes, okay. And I'm going to pop this up, and we'll just look at all the sides, even all the way around. I like to look at the top first and get the sides on the side. Like that. Isn't that cute? Okay, so liquid glue. Kind of swirl it around a little. This just gives you some wiggle room with your foam squares because they stick like a mother. What I want to do is just have this positioned so that it's right on the edge, splitting the line of the darkness there, right? Getting that right to the edge where the silver is. And then quickly bring this in before everything sticks. Just make sure that is straight. Is that straight? Oh, I think that is kind of adorable. Look at that. We've got shine. We've got Santa. Look at all the shine on texture on Santa too. I mean, it took a while to get here, but I think this is such a fun card, right? This is not something I will mass produce, definitely, but can you see the little shine there right on the little shiny edge mat? So fun. All right, you know the drill. This may be sold out by the time you even see the video because Tim Holtz has a record of having very quickly selling stamp sets, but I think you're going to love it. I think there's so much fun you can do. So I will have all the links below, and if I make any more cards, I'll definitely share them on my blog, and I'll also have that linked below as well. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you back here with another card project soon. Thanks so much for watching today. I would love to have you become a subscriber to my YouTube channel. And if you do subscribe, be sure to hit the gray bell below the video so that you don't miss the next time I post. Here are a couple other videos that you might be interested in watching. Thanks so much and have a great day.